Hi guys, I'm ExactChaos and welcome back to another episode of Workers and the Resources Soviet Republic. This is the rise of Cornoe, and we'll quickly have a look here. We have been extending the planning of our transport network. So we did the outer connection through here. It kind of snakes its way through the snaky rivers, and we've allocated this canal here as navigable. Obviously, there'll need to be some cleanup going on over here in due course, but I guess we'll be able to navigate straight through the middle here. We'll be able to navigate straight through over there. I'm not sure we're going to add any additional navigation through there or through here, maybe in the future, but not for now. So these over here won't be navigable, but of course we've had some navigable bridges that needs to go in here, and also this one over here. This will also facilitate the building of our extension to Vasistavy, which will then be able to kind of provide the workers and do other things for the Vasistavy area, for the nuclear industry more in general. But for now, we just need to tie in this road network, and then we'll go and do a few other things. So we'll continue this over here. So we, in the last episode, planned out this entire complex piece of rail interchange plus a road that snakes its way through there. And we just need to do the other side. The other side is going to be much less complex. And I'll start off with the road on this side because we were aiming to tie in our road over here. So in that regard, we may as well make a bit of a start. So we're going to aim for the 90-degree, well, approximately 90-degree join over there. And then we'll kind of run that out a little bit like this. And then we'll slowly curve our way into that general direction. But the plan is that we're going to slowly make our way kind of through there, I think. And then the idea would be that we want to probably do around there and go up all the way this side, right? But I'll leave it there for a little bit more. And what we can do, I'm just thinking, is we'll trim this out and we'll kind of show where we want the road to be. So something like that. And then we'll just tie that in a little bit more appropriately that way. And we'll tie this one this way. I won't build that now because I think the rail is going to be the more critical component. So what the plan would be is that we'll need to run, let's have a quick look here. That's a bit of yeah, I think the rail will be fine, to be honest with you. So if we were to say, grab our rail and say, well, the idea is really that we want the rail to also be kind of running somewhere over here, and the rail can have a little bit of an angle there. So let's see, how does this look? Obviously saying it's too steep at the moment, but as a alignment it's not too bad, I think, from a curvature perspective. So what we may do is we may just kind of level things out here just a little bit more, right, just to give ourselves some room. And if we get rid of some of these massive red inclines, then we should be okay to try and level it like that. So that should be okay. Now let's try that again. Really? It's still saying it's too steep? Ah, well, if that's the case, we may find ourselves in a position where we put this back a little bit. Right? So we can also try and use some of that because we've got a pretty big platform for landing out here. So if we did trim that back and we tried it again, is this time okay? So what I think we can also do is we can also lift it on this side. So let's get rid of those two, and we'll try and to be honest, because if we need to lift the rail, we may as well lift the road as well. So let's pull the road back, and then what we'll do is we'll lift into this area, increase the level here a little bit. Okay, so with that in mind, we'll try and level it from center there, and we'll try and push it through there. And I guess that will be appropriate for us to get the stuff going, right? So if we now slowly average things down the hill, we'll try and push this down the hill a little bit by trying to do something like this. Maybe this is a little bit better. Okay, so with that in mind, let's do the rail slither again, and let's this time around we can kind of start it all the way back here. Okay, and then the idea is we tie that in. Okay, and the other side. Okay. Time around we do it over here. That's okay. That's okay. Seems reasonable. And then what we'll do is we'll do it from this side as well. Just to try and get that level going there. And to be honest, and we just want to see if we did this, maybe not that, but let's I just want to test a few things here. If I did this, can I potentially level out the rest of this? Yeah, that's the plan. There we go. That's exactly what I wanted to do. There we go. I think that's going to be plenty level there. Okay, so now let's do this. We'll close out. We'll get rid of these ones. And what we'll do is we'll actually plan out that network to tie in. As we can see, we're tying in fairly nice and straight down this hill, which I'm kind of comfortable with. And now, of course, we can find our road network, which we will be running kind of alongside it. Maybe something like over there. Now, let's see if we tie in over here. Yeah, it's beautiful. And if we tie in over there, that's beautiful too. So there we go. A nicely designed other edge of this network. Now this one can run straight through the heart of town. So we'll get some rail connectivity through here. I also think we also need so station and stuff over here. We also need probably a distribution facility. And then we'll tie back in on this side, and we just need to have a look at how exactly we're going to do that. But for the time being, what we'll do is we'll make a start to the main road into town over here. And what we may do is just to not have it super straight. We'll kind of run it a little bit like this. Right? And if we wanted to, we could even do an extra road connection through here that ties in on that side. It's not inconceivable for us to do that. So I kind of like that idea. So that just frames it a little bit. So now let's quickly have a look at what are the facilities that we're going to need into this area. Again, I'm keeping it paused a little bit for the time being, but actually let's run it slowly so that some of the other stuff also gets built while we do this. Now, because I don't want to build in winter. That's really not the intent. I think I can close out the level for now. And let's have a look at our stations. Elevated train and bus station. That is super interesting. It's interesting to have something like that, right? Elevated train and bus station, a longer one. So if I were to, like, I just want to pop it there to see. I guess we should be able to see it. Can we see it? Oh, yeah, there we can see it. So here we can have the bus station underneath and the train at the top. That's something that I am not against, but in this particular instance, I would love to go over the top here. But presumably, if we also need to have some other stuff, it may not really work out that well. If we need like the distribution office in here, distribution facilities over here as well, then it might not quite work as nicely. But it is really quite intriguing to have these elevated facilities. So we only have these two. We don't have anything with a larger footprint, huge commuter station. Yeah, again, not quite what I'm after, not quite what we've been using. We've generally been using these others, but I guess what we're after is something a little bit more sizable, so that we can run stuff through here. So, I don't want a terminal station, but if we did something like this, potentially we could run all kinds of stations through here. So I guess the intent is that if we did want to do something like this in the heart of town, maybe over here, yeah, we should be able to. So something fairly central like this, we could make that work. And then the question mark would really remain how we also slot in the other bits and pieces. Look, if we look at Vasistavy, right, this guy is struggling tremendously with its platforms, and it's actually stuck. It is actually stuck. My goodness. And we can't go back. So this guy, can you please go to that facility and just turn around? Can't actually get there because it's where is this guy going? This guy is going to... So this guy needs to swap over. So this guy is literally stuck where it shouldn't be. So I guess as it was arriving here, we needed to have a little something here, right? This guy needs to be a chain, and I guess that is okay not to be a chain, but this guy needs to be a chain. Why? This is a funny one. Why did this happen? Can we... We can't get rid of that. And we can't get it out of the way here either. This is... we're screwed here. We're screwed here. I don't know... Unless we send all of these trains back. So just go back to... this one, please. Let's go back there, please. Turn it around. Thank you. Go back in there. Why on earth are you on the wrong platform? Why couldn't you just go to a platform that made sense? These, yeah, those all work. So for some reason, this was it's a timing thing, right? So I guess this one is okay. So what we'll want to do is this guy needs to go back to... So this guy was always there? No. Okay, go back to the end station, please. This is why it really frustrates me. I think that should fix the problem. And this guy can go to Vasistavy platform. You can just turn around and go to Vasistavy platform. Just go. Just need to roll these back. These things, I do wonder if they're really... They feel like they're they hurt more than they do any good. Wow, we had another train come in. There's more trains waiting. Do not. Oh, yeah, they're disconnected completely, so they can both run in through there. And then this guy should be able to ignore the red signal and continue on his journey. And hopefully all of the rest is now starting to open things up. Oh, look at that one. This train. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to move this forward ever so slightly because in reality, if we had it right over there, um, it will do that so that we can actually have this guy open and you'd be able to go to different places, right? It's another rail. You know what I'm going to do here? I'm almost tempted to just do yet another road network in there. But anyway, let's just get this. This should all work. Get everybody out of the way now. There we go. Everything should now be moving. Okay, this one is coming in. Yeah, I think this is okay. This guy is trying to get out somewhere where it can't get out. Oh, yeah, it's going to go out this way. Okay, beautiful. And this one is coming in. Yeah, I think it's okay. Maybe that additional chain signal there is helping us out a little bit to give us a little bit of room there. Okay, beautiful. So let's park that one there. Now it's okay. So we'll have to work our way through. This is another part of why the planning doesn't quite work this way. So again, so if we go back to this one, this should be reasonably sized. It gives us lots of options for the rail network. Now, of course, we want to make sure that we can get in here and we'll need to go over or under over there. So I guess something like this is appropriate. And then a question mark around, if we wanted to also then do things like cargo station. So, no, keep going. If we wanted to do then like a cargo station, right? So similarly speaking, maybe we wanted to do it like on this side, like so, right? But presumably we'll want to maybe do something like that, give it a little bit of room. Then we could run a few things in here for a distribution office area. So we could provide a few different things in there. And then the issue then, of course, is our rail connection over the top of that. So this guy could run in there. So we can bring this one in a little bit closer, right? So let's quickly go back and we'll say, let's copy. Oops, that's not what I want to do. Let's copy this, right? And then we'll kind of move it. Okay. Do we try and do maybe something like this? I think if we do this, right, it may be quite useful, right? So let's try that. That will be able to tie in there quite a little bit, and it gives us a little bit more room for some stuff to get in here. So then what we need to do is just plan out some rail connectivity. So we'll do kind of maybe something like this. From where all of these items will need to kind of get its connectivity, right? And then basically this and would love it to just be able to work here, right? Something like that. That would be so useful. If I... No, that's okay. Let's do that. And we'll... do that. I think that's okay. That will actually work as a reasonable... There's a lot of stuff in here. And What we don't have through here now is effect the okay. So let's go back. Let's trim this out because I'm thinking this needs to go straight. Okay. That's straight connectivity there, and then I'm thinking we also run, the bypass track through the middle of it over here, and then from there we tie in the bypass track. Oh, beautiful! And so the primary goal then, at least, is for us to get the bypass track. So what we'll do to be able to make this work a little bit more attractively, and I might pause it again for a second. I'm going to trim this back out, right? So we may be pulling that back a little bit so we can get the earlier curvature to be able to do that. And what we'll need to do is we'll need to run the bypass track straight a little bit more out of this area, and then we'll do that, right? So now we're giving ourselves a lot of room here for that bypass track there. And then what we'll do on this side, we'll try and tie it off fairly simply. This, okay? And now we just need to figure out how we're going to do it on that side as well. The plan would be that we do it earlier. Do something like this. And we go out to the outside as a pretty aggressive curve into there. Make sure we've got the room for it. And we could also do see, so that one, maybe we're being a little bit maybe we're getting a little bit too aggressive with this stuff. So let's do that. We'll trim that back. Instead of the turn, we'll make it go straight. And in there, right? Or did we want to do even less space? I guess we need the extra space if we wanted vehicles to be stopped there potentially. Yeah, we don't want to necessarily mess up the bypass track too much. Okay, so let's do the outside. Okay, let's pause it because we're getting into winter now. Oh, we can keep going. If we do the outside there. And I guess the last one we'll do is something like this, really. With something like that. Actually, that works quite well. Okay, so now all of that's tied in together. It's a reasonable setup with long straight sections to get a little bit of this going, and that kind of looks like a nice little area. We could complement it with some rail distribution, but I'm thinking no. The bypass is the kind of the smoothest of them all, I think. Reasonably smooth to go through the bypass there. And now what we need to do is find a way that we're going to effectively cross it to the other side. Before we have a look at that, let's quickly see what has been going on with our additional construction activities in the canal district over here. It is still underway. We obviously had the game paused for a reasonable amount of time, so didn't really achieve too much more over there. Money is reasonable. I think we're holding it. We're holding our own here. I'm kind of keen on yet another bridge connection over through there. But let's quickly have a look at what this would mean for crossing, right? I don't necessarily want to cross the rail directly, but I do want to look at how we tie into potentially both sides. Now, if we do the build-up of stuff versus just the standard rail crossing, so basically what I'm saying is we could go and cross it like this fairly easily. And then we could tie in other roads and things like that as well. Maybe that this is the way to go in this instance. Alternatively, we can do the same thing we always do by giving ourselves a little bit of room here. So if we wanted to go to maybe 19, by the time we get here, a bit of 19 over there would be quite good. I hope maybe we can have people, or we don't have anybody nearby to be able to facilitate. Because what I was thinking is we go over the top and then we run alongside on those edges, and we do that. So for the time being, this doesn't seem like it's a reasonable option for us. So maybe what we do is we find ourselves a little bit of room here. So let's quickly do that then. Instead, so we're going to go without the standard build up. So if we said we want to do a bit of this over here, we'll run it. Oh, then we want to kind of bridge it up, right? So let's give ourselves a little bit more flat room here, right? Maybe like the length of a train. Oh, hang on. The issue, however, well, would be that how do we tie them in together? So anyway, let's just have a look at this. So if we then say we'll go with this guy, right? And we wanted to go over the top of it, right? So if we said 10 elevation, actually a 10 elevation goes something like maybe that. And then the idea is we drop it down, right? That works fairly well. The problem we're going to have with this is we could quite easily run. Really? Ooh, want to clean that out. We're not going to be able to then come off this way, right? Crossings are not allowed on the bridge structure. So if we rethink that, right? Let's rethink all of this, right? So if we were to say that we're going to be running this guy through here and then tying it back in, right? This is a slightly different approach though that I've been using up to now. Right, so if we're going to say that, then now basically what we need to do is we need to, yeah, this is not going to work. We won't be able to get up to level there. We won't be able to. Hang on. So if we let's try something, right? So if we said, hang on. So let's start it off with one of these guys, right? We'll go there and we'll say we want to go up to something that goes over, right? Okay, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. Okay, so it's kind of, this is just the thinking process at the moment. So from here, what we do is we take a straight section of track, right? Something that can blur across here quite easily. No. Oh, it's in the way. Ooh, okay. Well, let's try something that's on the top then. Should be a little bit easier to accommodate. Oh, wait. I think we're... Ah, okay. Let's trim this back. I'm gonna try this again with this bridge structure here. Oh, we doesn't want to do that, so we'll need to do it like this, right? Actually, you know what? Let's just do it from this side. This is the one we're actually interested in. so we need it to be, we want it to be straight, right? So we'll do something like this, and we'll do the neighboring section as well, all the way to the end there. Okay. And then the question is, can I trim it to just a little slither? I can't. Okay, so if we wanted to then say, well, actually, let's just extend this guy straight across to about there. About there. Okay. Now, if we wanted to, can we now we can't bridge it, right? If we don't fill this up, we won't be able to do the connection. So we'll need to fill this one up, really. Really will need to do that. But I thought what I wanted to do here, for the time being, let's just go, right, let's just do this, and we'll do, oh, it doesn't want to do it from that side. And what we'll do is we'll do, actually, let's try that again. Sorry, I was getting a little bit, let's try that, right, and just drop it. There we go. That's what I want, right? That's what I want. And now, what we'll do is we'll get rid of these sections. We'll get rid of this. And now, hopefully, what we can do is we can just run a straight across here. Directly like this. Oh, beautiful. That's pretty straight, right? And that gives us a little bit on both sides. So if we did this, that gives us the infrastructure we're going to need to tie into. And I don't mind it being offset like that, because it'll help us out in the long run. So anyway, we need to find something like this to work. So let's keep it on playing, and let's quickly see. So from here, if we now do this, that should be able to tie into there fairly easily. So I would prefer the other options. And then on this side, we obviously have no ability to drop it down to, oh, we actually do. But in the reality, we've got a problem here. We do need to, this guy needs to be filled up at the very least, and then we may as well fill up the other one. Okay, so we'll leave that there, and this will be kind of the planning for that tie-in. So we can actually do distribution from this area locally. Now, what we also want to do is have a bit of a look at whether we tie in a road connection on the other side. Is this road connection and that road connection enough, or do we tie in another? And I think the answer is we tie in another. So if we go to roads quickly, we're going to just do this. Let's just have a look what's going on over here. All of this is now fully functional for the time being. Okay, good. Hopefully everybody is doing their thing. Yeah, money is holding. And even August was a good one, even with the use of foreign manpower. Okay, good. I'm very happy to see that. I'm very, very happy to see that. Now, let's go back, have a quick look. We would like to be at about 28 meters somewhere. And I guess we're going to have trouble over here to do our raising, right? Not so much. So let's do our 28 meters somewhere over here. It's going to be a bit of a single road connection. So we don't want to necessarily go too overboard here. Maybe our stuff is working. Still need more. Here we go. That's okay. And on this side as well. So it's kind of doing that, and then going over this way. So we may have to realign this road a little bit. So let's get ourselves up to that. Get ourselves up to that level. Is there? Yeah, I think that's about right there. So we'll level it out from there. This one, I think we need to push forward a little. If we're leveling it out this way, can we? Yes, we can. Okay, so with that in mind, can we level that out a little bit? Yeah, beautiful. Okay, so that gives us a nice big platform to work from over there. We're going to do a similar thing over here. Just get ourselves a bit of a platform to work on. And the idea is I prefer to run a pretty straight line across there. So let's give me a bit of a road connection. We're going to go with this one. Cut it across there. Yeah, I think something like that should be just fine. And then what we'll do is we will go down. Okay, so we'll need to go down on this side. We'll need to go down on that side. So let's get our terraformers ready again, and we'll start to just average things out a little bit. Well, initially we'll have to do a little bit of this. Then what we'll do is we'll level it out a bit. Okay, that should work, and I guess we should be able to tie in there fairly easily. Let's just average out things a bit over here. Okay, so the plan would be that we grab a road and we try and run it down there. So if we said let's pop a road in like this section through here. Okay, that's reasonable. And then just kind of want to tie it in. Really? Like that. And what we'll do is we'll just... how do we do this? I wanna tie it into that road, basically. What we need to do is we need to reestablish some stuff over here. Okay. Similarly, on the other side, we'll plan that out. So let's get ourselves a little bit of maneuvering space over here. I think that should be okay. What we do want to do is we want to dropping down some of this a little. Yeah, I think that's going to work the magic. So let me grab the road connection and see if we can tie it in. Quite comfortably. There we go. Lots of room. We just need to, obviously that's creating a little bit of an area. We can do a little bit of a beachfront area here, but there's plenty of room here for us to go and do our expansion. So here we've got that axis here. We could probably tie in a road from this side to run around there. So let's do that. So let's go and find ourselves our road alignment here. That. And we want to tie in through here. Oh, something like that. All the way around this area here, right? So that's our road connection like so. What we don't have at the moment is connectivity from the one side to the other side. And so, does that give us the opportunity to just do a little tunnel section in here? Is this in the water or not? If it lights up, we should see. So I guess what we're trying to do is maybe just a little tunnel section in here so we get that connectivity as well. So grab me a little tunnel slither through there. Pull that back a little bit. Yeah. Get ourselves a little bit of tunnel. Just a straight little tunnel slither through there. That looks very weird though. So let's redo that just a tad. So let's just find this is, yeah, so this is much higher than the other side. So if I were to just drop this down just a little bit more, and we'll level it out at this kind of level here. It's about approximately the same level. That's pretty good. We will have a bit of a look at a little tunnel section. Goes straight through the hill. But it doesn't want to have it this tight. So we'll need to come out of there and maybe do something like this. That looks okay. So we'll do a little tunnel section like so. In which case we may realign this a little bit to be able to tie into that. So let's do that. Comes off a little bit more as a straight section, and we'll go and just tie that on there a bit. And now the idea here would be, do we just tie in like that? I mean, it will still work. I mean, we can now go and do the rest of the road network here. So at least we have that option there. Okay, so that will work for us. And we, of course, need to provide some roads and things like this. If we plan it kind of along the lines of what we're doing here, gives us some of our primary road connectivity. Yeah, I guess that gives us a bit of the grid that we want to work with. That's pretty good. And then similarly, we've got the room on the other side to be doing some stuff. And what I think we can do is, can we cut underneath there, underneath there, underneath there? We can cut underneath there. We could do something like this to get it a little bit further away, in which case that becomes part of our network. It gives us some active forefront there. We could curve this a little bit away, like so. Tie something like that in there, and that there. Right? Not a big fan of that massive curve there. So what I'm thinking is here, we'll keep that. We'll keep the main road, but I'm thinking what we'll do is we will tie it in a little bit like this instead. We'll bring this guy back a little bit more. And then the plan would be that we do this and this to tie it in, so that we can tie this one in maybe like this. And, yeah, we'll have to see. I don't necessarily agree that that's a good spot for it. So let's just remove the kink there. The kink is a bit of a, yeah. So let's do that instead. Let's give a lot more room here. And to be honest, I'm thinking let's do it like that, right? perfect tie-in there. Okay, and then we'll just do it straight like this, right? It's going to be a bit tight for that maneuver, though. So let's trim that back a little bit. It's going to be a little bit close, though. Can I quickly get rid of that? We'll give it one more step back in terms of yeah, there we go. And then we'll just kind of tighten it up like that. Beautiful. That's much better. And what we'll do is we'll get rid of this, that, and we'll try and just do. I don't know, something like this. We'll try and do a little something like that, right? So if we do this, grab this guy, tie it in over there. That's a nice approach. We'll try and even this guy can be a little bit straighter now. Actually perfectly straight like so with the rail alignment. And that gives us some options. But I guess we'll see if we tie this in and out or whatever. So I guess this is the planning for the new town. We spent a lot of money on something. Let's quickly have a look. So if we look at the month of September, and we'll kind of end this episode here, I'll try and carve back a little bit. We had some imports. So this time around, we had another round of imports of electronics. So what I'm trying to figure out is who on earth is importing the electronics. I wish I knew, but I guess there's a ton of places that could be importing electronics. So let's quickly have a look at that. If we go back over here, Novigrad border imports should not be importing any electronics. No electronics. No. This one. It's atomic coal mines. So I guess we are still seeing some of that happening. So let's have a look. If we go to this building, this atomic coal mines one, is someone else actually distributing here? So someone else should be bringing you electronics, right? It's atomic coal mines. Yeah, so someone else should be bringing you electronics. So I'm going to head back, go to the Novigrad's imports, and we're going to remove the electronics from that, right? No more electronic imports. Plastics and the likes are okay. Anybody else doing electronics? No, we've switched off those as well. Okay, the other one that may be importing electronics is over here. Cornoe medium border distribution, which is coming from there, and it's delivering to all of these other spots, right? And I guess this one will keep, well, this one's not doing electronics. That one is not doing electronics. The only two, oh, this one isn't doing electronics. So the only one, I think, road, cargo, local supply. So these two are buying electronics. So let's have a look. Is someone else delivering here? We have Cornoe Hills Goods Distribution, Cornoe Harbor Local Distribution, Cornoe Border Medium Distribution, and Cornoe Hills Chem Distribution. So this one won't get electronics in any other way. Okay, and then if we look at the vehicle repair station, for instance, it's also only getting it from over here. So those two I can't switch off without it being lost. So I guess maybe that is where the electronics is coming from. But as long as we don't buy that on the regular, we should be more than good. We can sell some stuff over here. We've got more vehicles. Let's quickly put a couple of extra vehicles in action at the distribution office over here. Now, you and you go in there. Wow, we're struggling with distribution. Let's even grab another. This guy being assigned here. Okay, so we're seeing that same spot. Okay, but at least we've added a few more vehicles to the mix there to hopefully get that to work a little bit better. So this is our expanded area, right? We're doing a lot of work to make sure that our connectivity works. With all of these waterways, right, we do want to make sure that we can get effectively to various areas. I'm thinking I want to snake this one around a little bit more so we've got a lot more room to maneuver. I'm almost kind of tempted to do a bit of an industrial expansion over here as well, though the industrial will need rail, so we'll see. But anyway, lots and lots of room for further improvements. Yeah, that one I'm not too worried about. I want to have yeah, this one is fine. It seems to be no real problems. This I think I should upgrade into a little central roundabout with a little area, but we'll do that in kind of the next episode. So that's been 2 long episodes of proper planning stuff. We will actually, for the time being, I may just activate all of this stuff. We'll go to road and I'll say, let's do it. Okay. I don't think we'll start seeing any building happening just yet. And for rail, I'll do the same thing. We'll go into rail and I'll say, no paying. Just do it. These guys will start building things. And so I'm a little worried that we're going to start seeing some stuff happening over here. So what I might do is let's just suspend the construction. Well, let's batch suspend construction on these items here. I am actually quite happy for them to start work on this, right? So these guys can start work on the road connection to come over this way, getting the bridge moving and all these kind of things. I'm not quite happy with what it is. This will be a pretty interesting little shorefront we've got over here. And what we'll do is we'll run maybe a couple of tunnels underneath here. Oh, this guy doesn't actually do its own tunnels, so we'll have to establish a tunnel. Maybe we have a look at this, right? Oh yeah. We can establish a tunnel over there, a tunnel over here, and then run tunnels directly. Potentially even tunnel, and or entry, and then run the tunnels with exits in a number of different locations here, so that we try and maximize that. Actually, that's a very, very good idea, I think, to maximize this internal area here. We'll need some shopping and all kinds of the likes as we start building this out. Lots of infrastructure required for this town. If you want to name this town, please do so in the comments down below. Give us your suggestions. At the moment, I think this is the Vasistavy extension, but we may get a different name for this area, but it is going to serve our nuclear industry, and we may even put a nuclear power plant in this very area here because we'll have the workers for it. Okay, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.